How's everyone doing today? I'm going to take engine 2 out and go pump some water with it, and I figured I'd make a video on it while it's out. We have lots of toys on board on this truck. This is the engineer's cabinet right next to the pump panel. So we have some flashlights, a tick, gas meter, an electrical vehicle kill plug, some highlights, toolkit, batteries for cordless jaws, all sorts of fittings, and some spare def fluid. We just got these. These are brand new Amicus cordless jaws. It's a windshield cutter kit in that bag, and the gas powered cutoff saw. There's 4 Scott packs in this compartment, and we have 8 spare bottles on board, 4 on this side of the truck and 4 on the other side. We have Speedy Dry, some fire blankets, some rope, and a chimney fire kit, and then a portable pump with some hose. On the rear of the truck we have our Blitz fire gun that's mounted up and hooked up to some hose, so all we have to do is pull it off the truck and hook it up right to this connection, and we're good to go. We also have a floating strainer and other various types of strainers in the back, and that is our tank dump chute. This truck holds 1,800 gallons of water, and this is our hydrant kit. And in here we have an attic ladder, some pike poles, 24-foot ladder, and a roof ladder. Up in here is suction line. There's one more compartment right there on the other side. In this compartment we have our 3 fire extinguishers, a dry chem, CO2, and a pressurized water can, some collapsible cones, generator, lights, and evacuation fan. In here we have all our tools, along with some more Scott bottle storage, also a road sign. And the last compartment has some more tools and flashlights, cordless chainsaw, some foam with the foam eductor, and the drop tank, along with a tarp and some hip waders boots. We have 3 pre-connects on this truck, 2 1 3/4 with 200 feet of hose, and a 2.5 with 200 feet of hose. In the cab we have some spare drinking water, some snacks, and a med kit. To engage the pump, you always have to make sure the transmission is in neutral, and you flip this lever, wait for the green light to come on, and then put it in drive. Then the truck will change sound and the other green light will come on. Then you'll want to climb out of the truck and start circulating water from the tank to the pump and back into the tank. Since this truck has emissions on it, it's always a good idea to rev it up. You don't have to leave it idle. About 1,000 RPMs will do. So I'm here at a dry hydrant. All it is a pipe that goes into a body of water. And I don't know if you can see it down there in the water, but it's just a pipe with a bunch of holes, and it sucks water out and up into the truck. Inside this panel is the pump access. See how big it is and all the plumbing. Essentially is a transfer case that disconnects the rear axle from the transmission, and all the engine power is diverted to the pump. That's why the shifting has to be done in neutral. When hooking up your suction line, you always want to make sure your rubber gasket is in there. After you get your suction hooked up, you want to go around with your mallet and tap on them all to get them good and tight. So they have a leak. In order to draft with this truck, I have to remove this master intake valve in order to hook up my suction. You'll also notice that I shut the pump off in order to do this operation. And when that valve is removed, a lot of water dumps out because it's draining the pump. I have my 3 lengths of suction hooked up, so that's 30 feet. The truck can only draw 29.9 inches of mercury for vacuum, and each vertical foot of lift you lose 1 inch of water column, and for each 10 feet of horizontal you lose 1 inch. So we should be able to pull this draft because the math works out. I have the deck gun pointed in a safe direction away from the power lines, so the water has somewhere to go. So there's 2 ways to draft from a dry hydrant. You can either dump some of your tank water in and then quickly pull a suction, which is risky because you could risk losing your tank load, or use the primer. When using a dry hydrant, it's always a good idea to back flush it so leaves and other debris get pushed out. So I'm going to add some water to the pump to back flush this hydrant. And you can see the water flowing. So now we back flush this hydrant. So I got the pumping gauge right now, and I'm going to use the primer. And you just got to watch the water start pouring out from underneath the truck. So I got it primed. Now I'm going to pull the deck gun valve. I had my tank fill open once I got the prime, so the tank is now full. And we're pumping away. I'm going to hit my preset. Shoots a pretty good stream at 125 psi. What's neat about this code check is you can see the water and you can see a little bit of air bubbles, so there might be a slight leak. You just follow it back, it looks like we're leaking somewhere. And we're probably leaking up in here someplace. You can see the air's right here. See, we're pulling a vacuum. We're not quite at 30 inches, but we're pretty close. We're discharging 125 psi, which correlates to our pump monitor. When shutting down, I always back it down slowly back to an idle. You don't want to kill what you're feeding. And reverse the procedure. With the pump shut down, my suction line is still full, so I could draw a prime right away. In the event of a house fire or doing tanker shuttle, you'd want to leave this deck gun going and just keep shooting water out, so you always have a constant flow of water. So when a tanker pulls up, you just hook up a hose and fill them directly and shut off your deck gun. I forgot to show all the large diameter hose back at the station. There's 1,200 feet of it on here. You would use that when tagging a hydrant or running up a long driveway, and you need to have a pumper at the bottom to feed a truck at the top. We also have some spare hose over there. And this is the Blitzfire gun hose. And before taking off, always remember to put your deck gun back into its stored position. So what other techno gadgetry do we have inside the cab? Well, down at the feet, we have our air horn and Q2B siren buttons. Air horn in the Q2B only works with the master emergency warning switch on, and you have to be in drive. And that siren we also have a backup camera, engine brake, diff lock, and on-spot chains. There's also a bunch of work lights, steam lighting, and this is also the dump chute for the tank in the back. The driver can operate it during tanker shuttle operations. And there's also a switch in the rear for a spotter to operate it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Feel free to comment, and be safe out there.